Welcome back to Go With Us. This is Primal Kyogre Raid Day. We're going to run through all of the details, discuss a quick counter guide, see if this thing is even worth your time, and just to squeeze this in, don't miss this raid day. As always, a great place to start. Kyogre. Kyogre is a water-type legendary Pokemon originally coming from the Hoenn region. Kyogre can evolve into its primal form, which is going to be Primal Kyogre, and you're going to have to use 400 primal energy to make that happen, and then a further 80 if you want to make it happen again in the future. And speaking of primal energy, when is Primal Kyogre Raid Day going to be happening? Guys, it looks like it's going to be happening this Sunday, the 17th of March from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, which is going to be the day after Litten Community Day on the 16th. If you guys want to check it out, please check it out up here. We just did a quick breakdown to see if that Incineroar with those new moves make any difference, and it's a good time now to move on to the bonuses. Bonus number 1 is that Primal Kyogre raids are going to be featured all over the map. So this is a great time to plan where you're going to play. I would suppose get to a downtown area or an area that you know that has a lot of gyms particularly. This is where you're going to want to play. The second bonus is that we can receive 5 additional raid passes, and here's a quick tip here that during this World of Wonder season, we get 2 free raid passes per day. So if you don't do a raid the day before, which is going to be on Saturday, effectively that free pass is going to carry over. So according to my calculation, you should be able to do 3 free raids on that day, or at least a minimum of 2, which is going to make a big difference. So if you do 2 on top of 5, that's 7 free raids, which is fantastic, guys. And speaking of doing more raids, Primal Kyogre is going to have a boosted chance at being shiny during this day. That shiny, first of all, is mind-blowing. It's one of the best shinies in the entirety of Pokemon. I don't care what anyone says, and it's an absolute monster. And probably the most desirable bonus here is that the remote raid limit is going to be increased to 20 from Saturday at 5 p.m. all the way until Sunday at 8 p.m. So that's effectively 24 hours, even on the day before, that you can start raiding this primal Pokemon. And if trainers want to maximize their experience on this Primal Kyogre Raid Day, make sure that you purchase the Raid Day ticket for a total of $5, and that's going to get you an extra 4 bonuses. The first bonus is that you're going to get an additional 8 free raid passes per day, which takes, I think, the total to like 15 to 16, which is huge, guys. This is definitely a Pokemon you want to raid, so probably worth that. The second bonus is that when trainers defeat this raid, they have an increased chance of getting rare XL candy. Bonus number 3 is that trainers are going to get 50% extra XP when completing these raids. And lastly, trainers are going to get 2 times Stardust from completing the raid battles. We want to help you guys take this Primal Kyogre down, because to be honest, it's pretty difficult. You need at least 5 or 6 trainers. Make sure to use that party play feature, which is going to be massive. But the way we need to strategize to take this thing down is to discuss its weaknesses. Primal Kyogre is only weak to 2 things: electric and grass. The best megas you could use are definitely going to be that Mega Sceptile with that Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant combination. This is probably the premier counter for Primal Kyogre. It is so strong, but it resists a lot of the moves that Kyogre puts out, so a great one to have. The second mega you could use is definitely going to be that Mega Venusaur with that Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant combination. The great thing about Mega Venusaur is that it has so much bulk, so it can tank quite a few hits. It also resists quite a lot too. And for shadow counters, we would definitely recommend using that Shadow Raikou with that Thunder Shock and Wild Charge combination. You could use Shadow Magnezone with that Spark and Wild Charge combination, and you could even use Shadow Electivire also with that Thunder Shock and Wild Charge combination. In terms of regular counters, you could use Roserade with that Magical Leaf and Grass Knot combination. You could use Magnezone again with that Spark and Wild Charge combination. And we understand that this isn't necessarily a budget counter, but if you have Xurkitree with Spark and Discharge, it is one of the best electric type attackers in the game. Definitely use that as a good counter. With listing all of the details and all of the stats, we're building up to the final question, which is going to be, is Primal Kyogre worth your time, and is it worth raiding? Is it even good in the game? Well, a massive yes. And there's one main reason why, and that is going to be Origin Pulse. Before Origin Pulse came into the game, Kyogre's best moveset was going to be Waterfall and Surf, and even that, as a raid attacker, even in PvP, did so much work for Kyogre. But as soon as Primal Kyogre came out with Origin Pulse specifically, let's just say the jump in quality of this Pokemon is huge. In fact, it is currently unknown on Primal Kyogre Raid Day or on Primal Groudon Raid Day whether they're going to have their legacy moves. I looked on the Pokemon Go website and it doesn't seem to be listed there. But if they do, Origin Pulse takes Primal Kyogre to the top water type attacker in the game. Its damage per second rises to 22.4, which is one of the highest in Pokemon Go. It really takes this Pokemon to the next level. It becomes the premier water type attacker above any other water type in the game. And if you look at the jump between Primal Kyogre with the same moveset as well as regular Kyogre with that Origin Pulse combination, I think there's like a 2-point stat difference in those Pokemon, which is huge. And if we look at the moves it gets access to Blizzard. Now, if you plan to use Primal Kyogre as an ice type attacker, it actually takes Primal Kyogre into the currently like the top 4 or 5 ice type attackers just simply because of how hard that Blizzard hits. It's unbelievable. And look, there are going to be more things that come to the game which might take it out of that top 5 category, but it's incredible. The same thing goes for the electric category because it has access to Thunder. Thunder makes this Pokemon the top in terms of damage output, the top electric type attacker, and it's not even an electric type. Of course, it's not the recommended Pokemon to use because of that water typing, but it just shows how much damage that this thing can put out. It's truly incredible. So please, whatever you do, this is not a raid day you want to miss on the Pokemon calendar. Do whatever you can. Let's hope for Origin Pulse. It's going to make a huge difference. And it even beats out Shadow Kyogre pretty comfortably. So overall, a massive yes. Do not miss this raid day. This is one day in the Pokemon Go calendar that you want to put a lot of your time and resources into because it's really going to be rewarding. Guys, that is going to be it. You know the deal. Go with us. We're right in the middle of Weather Week. We've got Primal Groudon the very next weekend. There's a lot coming up. We can't wait to unpack it all for you guys. Go with us, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one, baby.